Hi, I'm Sandy from Leicester Library's Neighbourhood Services, and my story is called The Snook Catchers. Kay was great with gadgets and often had amazing ideas for games, so when Kay suggested snook catching, Ali agreed. "Are snooks big?" said Ali. "Maybe," said Kay. "We'll need a snook catcher." So they found some net in the kitchen cupboard, and Graham next door gave them bendy wire to thread the net onto. "The way to catch snooks," said Graham, "is to stand very still. Then they can't see you. Make a noise like a mouse, and the snook will look for the sound. That's when you net 'em." Kay and Ali waited. But no snook came. "We need a trap," said Kay. "A snook tricking trap." In the jar, there were 2 spare jammy biscuits, and Ali had some cheese left in their lunchbox. They put it on the window ledge and waited. But Ali wasn't very good at standing still, and no snook came. "Maybe snooks don't like the smell of cheese," said Ali. So Kay ate the cheese, and then they both ate the jammy biscuits. "We need a special gadget," said Kay. "A snook catching gadget." "Grandpa has good ideas," said Ali. "Let's ask him." Well, Grandpa was asleep, but he soon understood the problem and got out his box of gadgets and gizmos. There were spindle grabbers and twisty winders and lots of different jars with lids of different sizes. "A big jar is best," said Grandpa, and Kay agreed. Kay and Ali added extra length to the spindle grabbers and practiced lowering the net with the twisty winders. Grandpa put some raisins in the jar. "Snooks love raisins," he said, "but they hate the smell of cheese." They put the trap on the windowsill and waited. Then Kay and Ali heard a sniffing, snuffling sound. "That's a snook, all right," said Grandpa. "It's sniffing for cheese." A long green tentacle snaked through the gap in the fence and right into the jar. It took one of the raisins. Kay didn't breathe, and Ali sat small like a mouse to stay still. The snook rest of it came, was big. It floated over the fence like a long, thin puff of cloud and settled by the jar. All its tentacles were different colours and rippled in the wind. As it snacked on the raisins, it made a happy chiming sound from the holes down its side. Then it curled itself around and around from the bottom to the top of the jar and fell asleep, making a buzzy, sleepy noise. Kay and Ali left the spindle grabbers and the net and the twisty winders. They screwed on a lid carefully and carried the jar upstairs to their bedroom and put it by the window. They tiptoed downstairs. Auntie Jo had just arrived with a new puppy who needed some playtime. So by the time that they'd played with the puppy and had tea, when they went back upstairs, well, it was bedtime and getting dark. The snook was awake in the jar, but it was pulsing red, green, flashes and making a high-pitched whistling sound. Oh, I think it's upset, said Ali. Let's give it more raisins. But when they unscrewed the lid to put more raisins in, the snook poured out of the jar and spread itself against the window, its body glowing with diamond lights. I think it wants to go out, said Kay. I think it wants to go home, said Ali. Oh. Kay stood on a chair and opened the top window. A cool night breeze came in with the sound of cars from the main road as the snook slid quickly and quietly out. We'll keep the jar, said Kay, but no lid. And more raisins from Grandpa, said Ali. They watched as the snook rose up into the darkness, rippling and shimmering high over the rooftops, across the city, above all the people, up and away into the night.